When you start to use this, you will truly be shocked at how quickly things start showing up for you and working out for you. This is one of my absolute favorite things to teach on, and it's something that I also use personally. And honestly, if you're one of those people who feels like no matter what you do, you continue to struggle to manifest certain things, I really think that this specific technique is one that will be the one that makes it all kind of click for you. This isn't just the law of assumption that we're gonna be using. This is a whole new level of manifesting in a brain-based way, and it works so well. So if you are ready to turn your manifesting on autopilot through brain-based techniques and start to manifest so much easier, go ahead and hit that little thumbs up button below. It lets me know that you're watching and trying this out. And honestly, look at all of the other people trying this out with you too. And you know what? For everyone who hits that little thumbs up button, let's all collectively send each other good vibes. I mean, really do it. There is enough craziness going around. So let's all hold the space for happiness, magic, and miracles for each other. Sound good? And better yet, maybe even reply nice things to each other in the comments below too. I mean, really, do it. What do you have to lose? Let's spread some kindness and good vibes together. That was my little PSA for today. Now let's get into this technique and what you're going to do and how you're going to use it. But really quickly before we do, in case you're new here, I'm Mary Kate and I'm a mindset coach and manifesting expert focused on getting you transformational results. My whole channel is all about manifesting, the law of attraction with meditations and more, where I show the tools you need to get the results you want. I post brand new videos every single Wednesday, so be sure to subscribe and also be sure to hit that little bell notification below so you can get notified whenever I post a new video. There's training videos, meditations, subliminals, so much content that you're gonna wanna know about. So I'm sure most of you have heard about the law of assumption. It's becoming more and more popular, and I've even shared some videos on it that I'll link down below if you wanna dive into them and kind of get all of the details on how it works. Especially check out my law of assumption meditation. Seriously, if you haven't tried that out, do that right after this video. The link will also be down below, and I'll also leave a link up here too. But for the sake of time, because I've shared videos on how the law of assumption works, I'm not really gonna get into the details of all of that right now. So if you want more information on all of that, just click on the videos in the description box below. I wanna get straight to the technique. So here is what you're going to do. The whole goal of the law of assumption is to assume something is true, and therefore it becomes true. And if you're one of those people who leans more into kind of logical learning and you like more science and fact-based evidence, you can think of the law of assumption almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, if that's a better way to explain it to you. You believe it to be true, so it becomes true. So in this technique, you are going to not just assume what you want as being true, but you are going to fully embody it while also removing resistance at the same time. There's a lot going on at once, but I promise it's much easier than it sounds. So the very first step before you use this technique, well, honestly, the first step before manifesting anything is going to be to remove resistance. Please start with this. I'll even give you some quick options on how to do this. You can make a list of anything that doesn't feel good or possible about the things that you want. Or you can write out and expose any parts of you that don't feel worthy of or feel afraid of maybe what would happen if you did get this thing that you want. There's always a lot of that without you realizing it. Or if you want to do a deeper dive and a deeper clearing much quicker, you can actually take my Clearing Blocks Masterclass. I'm going to leave a link up here and a link down below for that. That uses rapid resolution therapy to clear blocks in real time as I walk you through this masterclass. Or you can also use my Clearing Blocks meditation, link down below. Like I said, tons of options, but essentially you want to clear anything standing in the way between where you are now and having what you want. Anything that doesn't feel good or feel possible needs to go. And from there, here is how this technique is going to work. You are going to form fact-based things that your brain logically already accepts as true and add in a layer of what you desire, but as a truth. And you're going to do this in 4 simple statements. The order is fact, fact, desire as a fact, fact. Let me give you an example because I know that sounds strange. So for example, the sky is blue, the grass is green, I always earn more than I could ever possibly spend, my shirt is green. Back to facts. Do you see how that worked? So it's 4 statements total, 3 facts, and then 1 thing that you desire but put as a fact. And always let that one be the 3rd thing that you say. Fact, fact, your desire as a fact, fact. So for example, if you're manifesting money, like I said, the example could be the sky is blue, the grass is green, I have more money than I could ever possibly spend, my shirt's green. Do you see how I kind of just throw it in there as a fact? It sounds crazy, but I'll explain why this works. Your brain really doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. So if you feed it something as a fact, enough to where it can accept it as true, then it can become true. You are essentially tricking your brain into accepting what you want as an actual fact. But there's more to it. You are going to do this fact, fact, desire, fact exercise 3 separate times. This is really going to prime and integrate in your mind. So the first time you say it, and each time you do this, you could do it out loud, preferably, but if you don't want to, or if you prefer to just say it in your mind, just close your eyes and say it in your mind. So out loud or in your mind, doesn't matter, preferably out loud, but whatever works for you. So the first time you do this, you're going to do your fact, fact, desire as a fact, fact, it's a mouthful. And as you say each statement, I want you to use your senses. And by that, I mean, I want you to see it or feel it or taste it or smell it, whatever it is that you're saying. Like your first fact, the grass is green. Do you smell it? Do you feel it under your toes? Do you see the grass? What senses kick on for you? This is gonna be very personal. You decide, there's no right or wrong, but you're going to incorporate your senses for each fact that you say. This is so your brain can kind of link to it and start to get into the process of accepting it. It's creating the experience for yourself. Now for the next round, for round 2 of saying your fact, fact, desire, fact, you are going to say it with an undertone of certainty. And by that, I mean obvious certainty. I mean that you can feel it without a doubt in your mind that it's already the truth. Almost like it's almost laughable that you even have to say it because yes, the sky is blue. Of course, the grass is green. Of course, I have more money than I could ever possibly spend. And yes, my shirt is green. Obviously, that's what obvious certainty means. Does that make sense? Make it like this obvious, certain feeling attached to when you say it for round 2. Now, round 3, you are going to say it neutral, conversational, like you were just thinking normal thoughts. Like, oh yeah, the sky's blue. Oh yeah, that grass is green. I have more money than I could ever possibly spend. Yep, shirt's green. Just very neutral. And let me tell you, this might feel very silly and very disconnected the first time you do it, but all that means is that your brain and your mind haven't accepted what you want as true or as a fact yet. But you'll get there. All that means, if you feel silly or funny or not connecting with it, is that you're just not there yet. But repeat this process until your brain does get it, until it doesn't feel silly or crazy. You just have to get your brain on board. Does that make sense? If you were from another planet and someone said, oh, the sky on Earth is blue, you'd be like, okay, but you're not really sure about it. And then you go visit Earth and you're like, yeah, it is blue. Do you see? Like then your brain can get on board. So you're creating the experience, you're doing this in 3 rounds, and this is all designed to link different parts of your brain to accept it as a truth. It's probably gonna feel silly the first couple times you do it, but eventually it won't feel silly anymore because your brain will start to accept it as a truth. And then here is the most important step, listen up. Or at least I personally think this is what really, really locks in this exercise that you just did. So I turned a lot of the exact affirmations that I use personally to lock things in energetically for myself, and I turned this into a meditation. And I feel like this meditation really helps seal the deal. So if you haven't already, or even if you have, be sure to use the Lucky Syndrome meditation after this. I'm gonna leave a link up here and a link down below. The reason I say this is because a lot of my personal students that I've used this technique with have found that this specific meditation, for some reason, really locks in the exercise and allows it to sink deeper into the subconscious. But as always, manifesting is not a one-size-fits-all approach. So if for some reason that meditation doesn't resonate with you, you can go ahead and just use the law of assumption meditation to kind of seal this in energetically. Like I said, that one's already linked down below. So 3 rounds of fact, fact, desire as a fact, fact. The first round is with a connection to your senses. The second round is with an obvious certainty. And the third round is neutral and conversational statements about what you observe to be true. And then you lock it in energetically with either the Lucky Syndrome meditation or the law of assumption meditation. Your choice. I recommend the Lucky Syndrome meditation, but if that one doesn't work for you, do the law of assumption meditation. Really, really play around with this because you are working directly with what your mind accepts as true, what your mind assumes to be true. It's truly very powerful if you give this time to work and you really connect with it the way that I explain. It's designed to link to your brain in a certain pattern. And be sure to please, 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 please clear the resistance before you start this trick. I'm telling you, that makes all the difference. If you try this technique and it's not working for you, clear the resistance. You still have something you're probably holding on to. You have to be in a space where you aren't holding on to all the reasons why not in order for your brain to really accept it as a fact. Your brain knows. It's really smart. It's a very intricate system. So again, everything, all of the tools are linked in the description box below. Everything to clear the resistance, the meditations, all of it. I really, really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and also hit that bell notification so you can get notified whenever I post a new video. You can also find me over on TikTok and Instagram at MK Magic Mindset. And if you want to learn more about me, my programs, how to work with me, and more, you can visit my website at mkmagicmindset.com, and I will see you in the next one.